It's history's first sibling rivalry, a jealous older brother taking his rage out on his younger sibling, and it's also history's first murder. The story of Cain and Abel has been told for thousands of years, and it's being retold in the new book by author Brennan McPherson, whose family usually writes things of a different fare.
Brennan McPherson is Vice President for the Salvation Poem Foundation. Every episode of CBN's animated series Superbook ends with the Salvation Poem, sung by a young vocalist in the viewer's native language. The poem has been translated into more than 50 languages and sung in more than 37 languages. Now he's used his writing talents in his novel, Cain. He tells the story of the first murder in the Bible and the birth of an unstoppable evil.
Brennan McPherson is here with us now, and welcome to the 700 Club.
Thank you.
Quite a work you've done here, your first novel, and you write about Cain. You actually have had an interest in this subject since you were quite young.
Yeah, I've always been fascinated by this story. I mean, it's a fairly odd story because it's the first family.
Yeah.
And then this terrible thing happens.
Yes.
And I always wondered, you know, what was it like for Cain? What was it like for Abel? What was it like for Adam and Eve?
In the end, you have some redemption for Cain. How did you come to that?
Well, I think part of it, you know, as I was writing it, I started seeing myself and everyone I knew in Cain.
Yeah.
And getting this, you know, overwhelming emotion of, you know, boy, could there possibly be hope for him? And it kind of became a mirror of, is there hope for me?
Yeah, well, especially since he wasn't destroyed by God himself after such an act. I thought as I was reading this, there's a lot of freedom, but a lot of responsibility in taking a story that has only maybe a couple of paragraphs in scripture given to it, and now you've created a whole novel. How do you decide when you do something like this, like what you can add, do you know what I mean? How do you expand on that story?
Well, I mean, it was really difficult. It took a lot of time to figure it out. And the biggest thing that I went into it with was absolutely anything that was explicitly stated, I was going to follow to a T.
Right.
But everything else, there had to be a deeper story. And so I had to delve pretty deep into, you know, what would be their motivations. And there's one scripture in particular at the end of Genesis 4 that I read multiple times before thinking something about it. And it said that after Seth had children, man began to seek after the Lord. And I thought, well, wait a second. They were seeking after the Lord. I mean, Cain and Abel were sacrificing to God.
Yes.
So something happened between then and that period where people went away from God.
You do a really fascinating job. I mean, it causes one to think about all of that with Eve and Adam as well, because you know, knowing that it was their sin that brought all of this in was a huge burden on them, really. And so, you know, in all of this, I think you cause all of us to think about Scripture more. This is the beginning of what will probably be a series for you. What are you thinking? Where is this going?
Absolutely. The rest of the series is going to be based on the other stories in Genesis, up to Genesis 11, which is the Tower of Babel. So it follows, you know, kind of the snowballing effect of Adam's decision to sin, how it goes through history, through their family members. So
have you already kind of handpicked the places
absolutely
in history and scripture that you'll talk about?
Yep.
When people read Cain, what do you want the takeaway to be?
I want them, I want people to have, to be reignited, to want to dig into the scriptures, to be fascinated with the mystery of his majesty, of who God is. Jesus says that to enter the kingdom of heaven, we have to become like little children. And if we lose that sense of wonder, we've missed it.
You and your family have obviously been very involved in bringing a sense of wonder and understanding to children around the world with the Salvation Song in Superbook. I mean, are you amazed at the incredible response that's had?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's mind-blowing. And just seeing the amazing work you guys do with Superbook. It blows my mind every time. I've loved watching it. I love seeing those stories brought to life in that way as well for little children.
Let me say, I love hearing all those children in different languages sing the salvation song that you and your family are responsible for. Brennan, thank you so much. A fascinating first novel. Look for more. The book is called Cain, the story of the first murder and the birth of an unstoppable evil. You'll find it fascinating. Find out how to get a copy by going to cbn.com. We'll look for your next one.